Yahoo picks a new CEO, Obama picks a new FCC chair, and the internet is not as full of sexual predators as you may think. It's Wednesday, January 14th. I'm Natalie Del Conte, and it's time to get loaded. Let's give it up for some girl power. Yahoo has chosen its replacement for Jerry Yang as CEO, and her name is Carol Bartz. Here are her stats. She's 60 years old and was the former chairwoman of Autodesk, the project management software. She's been there for 16 years. She graduated from the University of Wisconsin with a bachelor's degree in computer science. And did I mention that she's a woman? I don't mean to be overly feminist about this, especially considering that on the same day of her appointment, Yahoo's president, Sue Decker, announces her departure. Decker was not popular at Yahoo, to say the least, and there's no proof that Bartz will do any better just because of her gender. But Autodesk is an upstanding company, and hopefully Bartz will be the breath of fresh air that Yahoo so desperately needs. I wasn't going to say it, but all right, I'm going to say it. You go, girl. The future of our beloved technology rests in the hands of a new man. President-elect Barack Obama has reportedly chosen Julius Genachowski to head the FCC during his administration. He will replace current FCC Chair Kevin Martin. Genachowski, I hope I'm saying his name right, worked for the FCC during the Clinton administration and was a former Harvard Law cohort of Obama. He's said to want to emphasize competition in the telecommunications industry, particularly among the wireless carriers. He is pro-net neutrality and, of course, pro-more broadband. I don't know his stance on white space or any other unused spectrum, but all of that rests in his hands, so we'll keep an eye on him. At no time during the Consumer Electronics Show did I see a single device that streamed Blockbuster movies. Plenty that streamed Netflix, but no Blockbuster. If they were there, I certainly didn't see them. They will exist soon, though. Blockbuster has announced that they will start to deliver streamed movies to various devices, although we don't know which ones yet. The company says that we should expect to see them on PCs, mobile phones, portable media players, internet-connected TVs, and Blu-ray players. They better hurry that up, though, because that MediaPoint set-top box is not going to cut it if they really want to compete with Netflix. Google Earth is getting yet another layer, and this one has high-res images from inside of buildings instead of just outside. The newest layer shows gigapixel photos from artwork from inside the Prado Museum in Madrid. A gigapixel, in case you're not familiar, is an ultra-high-resolution image. The Prado project includes detailed exterior views of the museum, plus 14 images of masterpieces inside with information on each piece. Mozilla released a new version of Snoll this week. This is their messaging client that lives inside the browser. It's a plug-in to manage RSS feeds and messages. It also has an updated river view that groups your contacts a bit better and a new stream view for keeping track of your messages while you're still browsing. I tested it for my Twitter feed and I liked it, but browser real estate is at a premium in my life. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it or just go back to an Adobe Air app. My Twitter friends also tell me that Twitter Fox is a nice alternative if you like this way of managing your Twitters. Lego is set to launch a new line of electronics for children later this year. They will look like Legos, except you can really use them and you can't take them apart. The new line is a collaboration between Lego and a company called Digital Blue and will include digital cameras, video cameras, MP3 players, walkie-talkies, and more. They won't be out until later this summer, but they're supposed to be ultra durable, so basically kid-proof. They'll cost between $20 and $60. They're really cute. Do you think that maybe I could get away with something like this, even if I don't have kids? CNET UK published an interesting article about Apple's new DRM-free music system. Nate Langston warned that even though songs purchased through Apple can be shared now, those tracks still have your personal information attached to them. If not your username, they definitely have your email address attached. If you open the file in a text editor, you can see for yourself, so be careful who you're sharing with. Speaking of iTunes, Apple has started to relax a lot on what they allow to be sold in the application store. They recently allowed third-party email applications and more recently began to allow third-party browsers. Apple didn't make any official announcement, but Mac Rumors has a list of browsers you can use as an alternative to Safari. Opera is not one of them yet, but I'm curious to see if they will make it to iPhone and how it will perform. Bad news for New Yorkers. Amazon has lost its appeal of the online sales tax that the state put into place last year. A New York State judge denied Amazon and Overstock's request to stop an extra sales tax that would apply to all online transactions. Even though Amazon and Overstock do not have a physical presence in New York, the state still wants to collect tax on all of their transactions anyway. The consumers would pay this tax, and the retailers obviously are not for anything that inhibits consumer purchasing. There's a chance that this case could move to the Court of Appeals next, so in the immortal words of Lenny Kravitz, it ain't over till it's over. If you really want to use your new 24-inch LED Apple display as a touchscreen, a company called Troll Touch will enable that. They launched an integrated touchscreen system that lays on top of your display. It's powered via USB and costs $1,400 to do it yourself, or more if you send the display into the company to do it for you. That is a lot of bread. You have to really be motivated to touch for that. You shouldn't worry quite so much about your child being a target of sexual predators online. You may have to worry that they'll be a victim of bullying, though. The New York Times reports that a new study concluded that sexual solicitation of children online is not a significant problem. It found that bullying among children, both online and offline, was far more serious. This came from a task force created by 49 attorney generals led by the Berkman Center for Internet and Society at Harvard. Of course, this doesn't mean that sexual solicitation doesn't happen. It just means it's not the epidemic we tend to think it is, which is a good thing. Those are all your headlines for today. Mark Lasea will be hosting Loaded tomorrow because I'm going to Washington, D.C. to do a story for the CBS Early Show about how the mobile carriers are preparing for the inauguration. I'll be sharing that with you next week. Thank you for watching today. I'm Natalie Del Conte with CNET TV, and you've just been loaded.